my name is Amir Oosman, and I am the drummer and tour manager for Oliver Tree. And right now we are in our second week of Hobo Johnson's US tour. Right now, most of what I'm doing for Oliver is playing half of an acoustic setup, and for myself, it's a first-time experience playing such like an electronic integrated setup with the Roland SPD-SX, a lot of Roland triggers, as well as our playback system's brand new. Acoustically, you have basically a standard small drum set, standard kick, snare, floor tom, couple cymbals, and then really tight sounding hi-hats to match Oliver's, trap music. And with the electronics, we've integrated 2 Roland triggers, one on the kick, one on the snare, BT pad, and then right below my floor tom is a KT10 kick trigger, all 4 of which run into this Brain SPD-SX, 4 trigger inputs, and then we run it MIDI out into our playback system.
Oh baby, you're a liar. Maybe I'm a liar too. LA's still with liars. Top day bullshit providers.
The playback system, I'm running all the cues from our Novation Launchpad. And basically, we have a bunch of medleys that we cue, but also individual tracks at any time if Oliver feels like he wants to throw something new in, or if we want to cut a song. There's a lot of flexibility within our set. We run 2 laptops, an A computer and a B computer, and basically what the playback system allows us to do is if anything were to go wrong at any time, we'll automatically switch to the B computer, and no one, even including the people performing, will notice a difference. So I really love it. It's extremely fast to set up, and it's really portable in this small Pelican case. What we use regarding our playback system is the Play Audio 12 and iConnectivity 4 Plus, both of which run into our Ableton computers A and B. And it's basically a very simple setup. It takes me about a couple minutes to plug it in, and once we have it running, if anything were to glitch throughout our show with our A computer, what the system allows us to do is switch automatically to the B computer without anyone noticing a difference.
Life is like black magic, but if one last spell gets cast in.
So the way the Roland products are integrated within this system is everything as far as the triggers goes into our SPD-SX, and then MIDI out into our iConnectivity 4 Plus, and as well as our keyboardist, he's plugging his MIDI cable into our 3rd input on the back, both of which, as soon as you turn this on, it automatically syncs up with Ableton, and I've not really noticed like any latency whatsoever when I'm playing what I'm hearing and what the house is getting. The CPU usage and the latency is extremely low, which I love, because in the past when I've used other systems, you'd be hitting the pad and maybe you want the snare immediately, but it kind of hits you as a flam a little bit later. So this has been definitely, in my experience over the last few tours, the most reliable and I'd say the most seamless system I've used.
Hi, I'm Casey Mattson. I'm a keyboard player, guitar player for Oliver Tree. This is their setup. Got my MIDI controller right here, running into the computer where I trigger samples, bass parts, vocal chops, different little things like that. I've got pads right here which I trigger some stuff on. Some things are on keys. Sometimes I'm triggering things on the notes that they are. Sometimes I'm just triggering them chromatically up the keys. I've got a filter for bass sounds and a filter for guitar sounds, cutoff switches. I do little mods sometimes to kind of spice up the original tracks. There's some songs where I'll start off with guitar, switch to triggering MIDI, playing keys, back to MIDI, back to guitar. It's a nice little setup, covers all the bases, with our little 3-piece group we have right here. Everything's running into the same computer, so Amir's drums, my MIDI parts, triggers are running through the same rig. So it's a nice setup. It's a real step up for us because it's really awesome to be able to recreate the sounds from the actual productions, and it's a difficult thing to do with laptop music. You know, you're always sort of kind of trying to recreate things and stuff like that. So this is really nice because we can kind of really dial in what works live, you know, how to shape the sounds in a way to kind of capture the original magic of the song while being able to sort of kind of, you know, change it up, make it a little bit more live. So the performance is a lot better. You know, definitely it's nice to be able to just seamlessly, you know, trigger samples without having to change programs. The way it's worked is whenever Amir cues a song, I have everything dialed in so I don't have to change patches or presets or anything like that. It's just all right there for me. So it makes the whole live show a lot more dynamic, a lot more interesting. You know, I'm able to sort of fill in the gaps here and play some stage piano sounds as in the recordings are and recreate them, and then I'm able to kind of go over here and trigger samples and kind of create a lot more of a live experience. It makes the experience a whole lot more live and a whole lot more dynamic and interesting, exciting. It's been a pleasure to have this new setup and be able to rock out like this. Yeah.
Out of my entire touring experience, this by far has been the funnest experience so far, not only because this is a new challenge for me, just as far as coordination as a drummer, but having, you know, control over so many facets of our playback has really added to our show, not just in audio sensibility, but as a player, you know, this really fulfills a lot of my needs, where if I want to beef up something within the set, whether it's the electronic drums or FX or maybe even just adding new, you know, background tracks, the Ableton set itself, as well as the playback system itself, is so easy to manipulate and it's very reliable. So I'm really looking forward to utilizing it for our future tours and basically just adding on to the setup and to our playback setup. You know, for something that's so small and fits in the tiniest carry-on size Pelican case, it packs a lot into one tiny little system.
Oh baby, you're a liar. Maybe I'm a liar too. LA stupid liars. Top day bullshit providers. Oh baby, you're a